Good evening, hockey fans. For tonight's NHL matchup, your Utah Hockey Club finishes out their road trip in Montreal against the Canadiens. Starting lineups for tonight: Utah, Keller, Hayton, Schmaltz on that top line, McBain, Cooley, Gunther on the second, Maselli, Bukestad, Kraus on the third, Kirkoni, Stedland, and Kerfoot rounding out the offensive pair there. Looking at defense, Sergachev Mata on the top pair, Cole Lamoureux on the second, Kesselring Bortuzzo on the third, Vejmelka in net again for Utah. Looking at the Canadiens, Caulfield, Suzuki, Newhook on that top pairing, Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher on the second, Heineman, Evans, and Roy making his season debut for Montreal tonight, and Slavkovsky, Doc, and Armia on the fourth line for Montreal. Gooley, Barron on the top defensive pairing, Hudson and Matheson on the second, Xhekaj and Savard on the third, Montembeault in net for Montreal. Puck drop just seconds away as anthems just finished up because the broadcast decided to actually show the anthems for once. Kind of odd. Utah coming off that loss, let's see, what was that? Sunday. Yes, Sunday against Toronto. Played good in that one. Just kind of let their foot off the gas throughout points of that and gave Toronto just enough to get through, get a couple goals on net when needed. So we'll see if Utah can bounce back. Key thing for Utah tonight is going to be staying out of the box. They have had trouble with this over the last several games at this point, especially Lamoureux, who's seems like he's living in the box at this point. First season, it's understandable. However, you got to stay out of the box if you're Lamoureux at this point. Utah team in general, see what they can do tonight. Opening faceoff, Utah won it back in their own zone, holding it just for a second. Quick pass up, trying to tip that into the zone. They'll get no icing on that. Montembeault will hold it behind the Montreal net, pushing that to the left corner. Utah will keep it in. Push back behind the Montreal net. It'll end up in the right corner. Bukestad trying to dig away at it. Kraus tries to get a pass in front. Kept in at left point. Sergachev a shot on net. Goes wide. Kept in at the right point. Barely kept in by Kraus there. It'll bounce back behind the Montreal net. Bukestad can't quite hold that one. Montreal looking to dump that out of the zone. They will, finally. Utah trying to pick that up. Weird bounce prevents it, though. Drop back for Gallagher. Tries to get a pass in front. Saved by Vejmelka. There will be a penalty on that already. Bukestad. Go figure. Utah staying out of the box and, well, already not doing a great job at that. Bukestad going to the box. 2 minutes for hooking against Dvorak. That's not the one. That's the one. So Montreal takes an early power play. Utah still does not understand they need to stay out of the box if they want to put goals on net. We'll see if this Montreal... the only saving grace for Utah with all these penalties is the penalty kill has been quite good. So at least if you're going to take them, at least have that good penalty kill. Right side draw. Canadiens moving in. Caulfield looking for a shot from an angle, not able to find it. Utah looking to clear right side. It'll bounce out, and they will grab that. Hudson moving up the left side. He'll get in the Utah zone. Push deep left side. He'll end up behind the net. He'll push to the right side instead. Caulfield trying to dig away at it. Kept in by Doc. Tied up along the right side boards. Caulfield able to push that to the left side. Hudson will grab it. Pushing it deep. Tied up in the left corner now. Suzuki trying to dig away at it. Utah looking to clear left side. Won't be able to. Hudson. Pass over to the left point. Back to Hudson. He'll move into the slot. Pass to Caulfield at the left dot. Back to Hudson. Over to Doc. Moving into the right side. Looking for a tip in front from Suzuki. Not able to find it there. Bounces up into the netting. 1:12 left on the Montreal power play now. 18:29 left in the first. We'll see if the Utah penalty kill can keep doing what they've been doing. So far in the first minute, keeping to the outside, not doing a great job keeping to the outside, but for the most part, they have been getting in front of shots, they have been letting them get to the front, keeping those shots not really on net. Montreal circle that around the Utah zone. Heineman on the right side. Pushing that to the right corner. Breaks his stick, though. Forced to go to the bench. Can't quite keep that in. Be kept in regardless. Utah will dump it out quickly, though. Over to Armia. Gets a pass up to Gallagher. He'll get that back to the point. It'll get right back to the left point instead, though. Tied up along the left side boards, looking for a shot in front. Heineman looking for a shot. It'll bounce wide. Kept in at the left point. 30 seconds now on that power play. Quick pass in front. Shot. Save goes wide. Kept into the point. Hudson looking for one. It'll bounce in front off a body. All the way to the right side. Nobody there to pick it up. It'll bounce all the way back down to the Montreal zone. Barron back behind the Montreal net will pick it up. 10 seconds left in that power play now. See if Montreal can get it in one last time. They'll get it in left side. Sergachev will grab it first. 3 seconds left on that power play. Montreal will keep it in the zone, but Utah will kill off that power play. Behind the Utah net, both teams digging away at it. Krause trying to dig that out, not quite able to. A bounce in front, shot saved in front by Vejmelka, and he'll hold. A little scramble in front for it, as neither team knew exactly where that was. Vejmelka able to get just enough on it. He'll hold for the save. 17:03 left in the first now. Shots sitting at 2-0 for Montreal early. Great offensive pressure, keeping it in the Utah zone. Like many teams have done this season, as long as Montreal can just keep Utah trapped in their own zone, it's been a recipe for success for teams. Utah so far very susceptible to of just staying in their own zone. They doesn't seem like they can battle through that at times. So we'll see what Montreal can do tonight. Capturing behind the Utah nets, that left side draw in the Utah zone with one back by him, looking to finally get out of the zone. Neutral ice. Montreal pick it right back up, though. Newhook pass up to Caulfield, moving up quickly. Shot saved by Vejmelka. He tries to get that one in from an angle. Bortuzzo looking to clear. It'll barely bounce out of the zone. Hayton. Quick pass across. Hayton will pick it right back up in the left corner. Over to Schmaltz in the right corner now. Tied up, though. Schmaltz there to retrieve, or Hayton there to retrieve. Schmaltz not able to keep that one in the zone all the way back down. Montreal back up the other way. It's Caulfield, left circle, shot, save goes wide. Bounces up into the netting. 16-16 left in the first now. Utah just not been able to get set up early here. However, over these last few games, the opposing team has really been able to get a good first few minutes against Utah. In Pittsburgh's case, they came back and were able to get that pressure set up. Toronto, not so much. So we'll see how Utah decides to play tonight. A shot from Caulfield on that last rusher there off the post. Almost has that one in early. Just barely keeps this game tied at 0. Left side dot in the Utah zone. Dvorak and Cooley on the draw. Be pushed in the left corner. Utah will try and win it. Forced into the right corner. Cooley looking to clear. Tries to get that up to Gunther. Bounce out of the zone regardless. Mata, he'll dump that into the Montreal zone. Montembeau behind the net. Push that right corner. Cooley or McBain there to pick it up. Quick pass up from Montreal, though, and they're back out of their own zone. Moving up into the Utah zone quickly. Shot bounces wide. Utah trying to retrieve that. Montreal will try and keep it in. They will just barely. Barron with it. He'll ring that all the way around. Bounce back in the right corner, looking for something in front, goes wide. Anderson, the one looking for that shot there. Montreal able to keep it in the Utah zone just for a second, though. We'll pick it. Utah will clear. It'll dump right back to the Montreal zone, though. Nobody there to pick it up, but all Montreal. Quick pass up by Xhekaj. Slavkovsky not able to pick that up. Sten will dump that right back in. It'll bounce into the left side board. Sten will keep that in at left side point, though. Bounce back behind the Montreal net. Carcone tied up. Forced to push that into the right corner. Stenlin able to get that to an open Utah on the left side. Not able to get that. Gets the shot on net. Saved by Montembeau there. Stenlin in the left corner now fighting for it. Tries to get that to Carcone. Not even able to get a shot from an angle off there. Lamoureux will dump it back behind the Montreal net. Kerfoot along the left side boards fighting for it. Pressured, forced to dump that to the right side. Lamoureux there to pick it up. Stenlin trying to get a shot on net. Hits a body and that will deflect wide. Doc able to pick that up instead. 14:25 left in the first now. Doc moving out with speed. He'll get on the left side of the Utah zone. Not quite able to get in front, though. Utah looking to clear that out right side. They will. Montreal trying to poke that in through neutral ice, not quite able to. Kraus come away with it instead. Pass over to Bortuzzo. Kraus with it. Try and get that back to Cooley. Cooley looking to get that across the left side, saved in front by Montembeault. Heineman trying to pick up that pass, not quite able to. Kessling will try and grab it instead. He'll bounce up to Maselli. Maselli trying to get in, pressured. Bortuzzo will try and pick it up in the left corner, looking for a pass in front, nothing there. Kessling keeps it in. Over to Schmaltz. Back to Maselli. He'll wait, shot, blocked, hits a body in front. He'll bounce to the left side. Kessling able to get that right back over to Maselli. Now in the left corner. Over to Schmaltz at the left dot. Over to Bortuzzo, moving in quickly. Shot goes wide. All the way back out. Utah able to pick it up quickly, though. Schmaltz. He'll move through neutral ice. Back up into the Montreal zone, entering right side. Looking for a pass in front. Hits a body instead. Newhook with it. Up the other way quickly. He's got Caulfield and he's got Suzuki with him. Caulfield shot deep from the left dot. Goes wide. Kept in by Montreal. Utah not able to clear that out. Montreal up right side dot now over to Caulfield. Saved right into the glove of Vejmelka. Beautiful shot from Caulfield there. Just Vejmelka able to get across just in time. Keeps this game tied at nothing. 13:02 left in the first. Some good opportunities for both teams, but still 0-0. Listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. $13:02 left in the first, still tied at nothing. Quick fix to the Montreal defense lines. Matheson not in tonight, Struble in instead. Deep pairing for Montreal. Hudson Gooley on the first pairing, Jacques Savard on the second, Struble Barron on the third. Daily Faceoff did not have that fixed before I started this, ergo my lines were wrong. Regardless, fixed now. Montreal with a good rush opportunity on that last attempt. We'll see if they can build on that at all. Left side draw in the Utah zone. Utah won it back. Sergachev able to get that into the right corner. Dumped all the way out by Utah. Barron not able to hold that pass, though. Schmaltz, he'll dump that around to the left side. Trying to get it to Keller. Sergachev a shot instead. Bounces wide. Saved by Montembeault. Schmaltz will push that behind the Montreal net for Keller. Keller moving right side. Will leave it for Schmaltz. Trying to get a pass in front, not able to. It'll be pushed to the right corner instead. Hayton trying to get it around, not able to. Caulfield now with it. He'll double back to the Montreal zone just for a second. Pass over. Montreal moving in quickly. Hudson circling the zone, not quite able to get anything done on that last rush there. Caulfield, he'll get it back to Hudson. He'll double back behind the Montreal net, and he will wait for the change. Gunther with pressure, though, forced to move up quickly. Hudson, a quick pass up to Gallagher, trying to get a pass across to Dvorak, not quite able to. Be held up in the left corner of the Utah zone instead. Gallagher with it. Still not able to get that pass across. Tied up in the left corner again. Gunther, quick pass up to Cooley, and Utah out of their own zone. Cooley moving in left side. Shot on net, saved by Montembeault. Nobody there to pick up the rebound, though. Cole grabbing in the left corner, trying to get it in front for Gunther. Nobody there to pick it up, though. Kept in by Lamoureux. Shot bounces to the left corner, saved by Montembeault. Montreal will dump that out and clear. Gallagher will push that into the Utah zone. No icing on that play. Utah behind their own net. 11:20 now. Looking for a long pass up. Won't find it. Slafkovsky now back in the Montreal zone. Tries to get a long pass up to Doc. Not quite able to find him. Will end up in the right corner instead. Push the left side of the Utah zone. Both teams digging away at it. Doc behind the Utah net. He'll leave it for Slafkovsky. Moving to the left side, he'll get a pass in front. Shot, Blah hits a body in front. Armia not able to get the rebound on his own shot there. Pushed around by Savard. Slafkovsky trying to get a pass in front. Kerfoot to steal it instead. Quick pass up to Carcone. Moving into the Montreal zone, trying to get a pass over to Stenlin. Won't be there to find it. Only Montreal players there instead. They'll dump it right back into the Utah zone. All the way down for an icing, though. 10:32 left in the first. Utah with some better opportunities on that last rush there, just not able to get anything really set up in front. Montreal answering back quick, though, with some, equally good rushes of their own. Similarly, good shots on net, if nothing else, but can't, not really much set up there. We'll see who strikes first tonight, still tied at 0. Shots currently sitting 5-4 in favor of Utah. Right side draw in the Montreal zone. Utah win it. Cole trying to get a pass up. Won't be able to. Kept in at left point by Kesselring. Maselli walking the line. He'll dump it around behind the net. Bukestad there to pick it up. Trying to get it to Cole in front. Saved by Montembeault. Push the left corner. Slafkovsky will get it over to Savard. Trying to get it to Doc over in the right corner. Looking to clear, and they will. Bounce all the way back down to the Utah zone. Quickly picked up by Cole, though. Quick pass up to Maselli. He'll lose that, though. Montreal right side in their own zone. Quick passes up. Back up the other way. Xhekaj pass across. Shot. Flex wide. Saved by Vejmelka there. Maselli, quick pass up to Krause, and back up the other way Utah goes. They'll dump that right corner. Montreal able to grab it instead, moving up quickly with it. Up the left side. Evans. They'll get it across to the right side. Utah able to steal that away, though. Keller moving up the other way. Left for Hayton. Hayton, quick soft little shot on net that'll bounce to the right side. Keller there to pick it up. Schmaltz pressured, forced to push that around. Hayton will grab it instead. The left dot looks for a backhand, hits a body in front, though. Evans able to trying to get to it. Hayton keep that in the Montreal zone just for a second, though. Montreal able to clear on the second attempt. Sergachev back in the Utah zone. 9:05 left in the first. Shots sitting 7-5 favor of Utah. Sergachev behind his own net, waiting for the change. He'll finally get it. Quick pass up to Schmaltz. Not able to hold that, though. It'll dump into the Montreal zone. Gooley trying to get out of his own zone with it. Not quite able to. Kept in by Utah. Montreal, after some fighting, they'll finally get it out. McBain will pick it up, though. Left for Kesselring in the Utah zone. Finally able to clear that up and out. Trying to get it up to Cooley. Hits a body in front, though. Kesselring will grab it instead. Dumped in right side of the Montreal zone. Dumped right back out by Montreal, though. Here comes Caulfield up the right side. Forced to double back to the right point. Pressured by Cooley at the left side. Trying to ring that around. End up in the left corner. Utah looking to clear, won't be able to. Pass in front. Caulfield whiffs on the shot. McBain able to get to it first. Able to dump that out into the Montreal zone. No icing, though. Hudson, he'll hold behind the Montreal net, waiting for the change. 8 minutes left in the first now. Pressured by Stenlin. He'll get the pass up to Dvorak. Pass across the left side to Anderson, looking for a shot from an angle. Bounces behind the net, though. Mata looking to clear that out of the Utah zone. Will pass that up to Stenlin. Utah back up the other way. They'll dump it in right corner. Delayed penalty on the play. And that will be on Montreal. Xhekaj will be taking a 2-minute interference call against Kerfoot. So the Montreal power play with the opportunity first in this game, not able to strike. We'll see if the Utah power play can do any better. 7:40 left in the first. Listening to Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 7:40 left in the first. Utah up on the power play now. Montreal with the first opportunity in this game, able to get some good shots on net. Vamelko kept that one tied at 0, or kept that attempt tied at 0. We'll see if the Utah power play, which has been better over the last few games, see if they can strike tonight. Left side draw in the Montreal zone. Tied up the dot will be pushed to the left corner. Savard trying to clear that out right side. Will bounce back to the left point instead. Kept in by Sergachev. Over to Keller. Back to Cooley deep. Sergachev at the point. Back to Keller right side. Cooley back. Keller right side. Back to Sergachev. He'll walk the line. Back to Keller. He'll get it back to Cooley just for a second. Just for some quick passing. Keller barely keeps it in. Pass right to Hudson though. Montreal looking for a short-handed here. He'll dump it into the Utah or Armia. The one to clear that one out. Kept in at the left corner of the Utah zone. Keller will pick it away instead. Keller. Leave that back. Gunther with it now. Shot in front by Schmaltz goes wide. Gunther at the right side with it. Back to Sergachev at the point. Keller right dot. Back to Sergachev. Big hit from Gunther on the left side. Montembeau will save, but not able to hold the rebound long enough. Back to Gunther. Moving in. Trying to get in front. Leave it for Schmaltz on the left side instead. A minute left in the power play. Back to Gunther, holding it along the left side boards. Sergachev at the point. Back to Keller, moving in. He'll get it to Cooley, trying to get it to Schmaltz in front, not quite able to. Great defense from Montreal there. Kept in by Utah. Keller, back to Cooley. Back to Keller again. Sergachev, will get back to Cooley. Keller deep with it now. Tries to get it pass across to Gunther, saved in front. Montreal not able to clear 30 seconds now. Sergachev back over to Gunther, shot, deflects, hits the body in front. Gunther able to pick that right back up though. Deep for Schmaltz along the left side, will move to the left side dot. 17 seconds now on the power play. Keller looking for a shot, goes wide. Schmaltz will pick it up instead. Left side, looking to move in front, won't. He'll leave it for Gunther instead. Gunther trying to move in front. Kept in by Sergachev. Keller now with it along the right side. 2 seconds. Montreal will clear that power play off. Gunther looking for a shot. He'll bounce up into the netting instead. That catches Gooley. That shot there. So Utah with a tremendous power play attempt there, but not able to find anything go in. 5:37 left in the first as we head back to commercial. You're listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .537 left in the first. Both teams scoreless in the game and on their power play opportunities, but Utah with a tremendous power play opportunity there. Only lets Montreal clear that once. And even if you are Montreal on that attempt there, you blocked all the shots, great body blocking in front there. And when it was cleared, you kept it in the Utah zone just for a sec to kill some time off that penalty. Keep that tied up in that left corner just to kill some time off. So great effort by both teams there. Not able to find anything in the back of the net, though. Left side draw in the Montreal zone. Krause, Doc on the draw. One back by Utah. Cole not able to pick that up, though. It'll bounce back to neutral ice. Kessling there to pick it up. Quick pass up the right side for Bukestad. He'll dump that right back into the Montreal zone. It'll end up right corner. Bukestad trying to get it in front. It'll be tied up along the right side boards instead. Doc, he'll push it left corner. Trying to get it to Gallagher. Maselli will pick it up instead. Tied up along left side boards, looking for a pass in front to Krause. He'll find it, but it'll bounce back to Maselli instead. Bukestad, pass in front, saved by Montembeault. That will bounce up into the netting after that save. Beautiful pass in front there by Maselli. Just finds Bukestad moving across quickly. Montembeault just gets across in time, though. 5:06 left in the first. After the first few minutes, like has been in the last few games, where whoever Utah is playing has been able to get set up, get something going in the first few minutes. Similar to the Pittsburgh game, Utah has come out swinging in these last 5-10 minutes now and have really started getting something set up in the offensive zone. Montembeault keeping Montreal in it early, so we'll see if that continues, but great effort by Utah so far. Shot setting 11-5 in favor of Utah at this point. Left side draw in the Montreal zone. One back by Utah, kept in at the left point this time. Over to Bortuzzo. Get the pass over to Maselli, or at least he'll try to. Be an offsides or a penalty? It will be a penalty. Evans will be going to the box. So Utah back on the power play again at 2 minutes for interference against Kerfoot. Looked like that was almost an offsides on that play, but even better for Utah taking that penalty there. Yeah, Evans just ties up Kerfoot right off the draw there, pushes him down right in front. So Utah back on the power play. If you're Utah coming off that momentum of the first one, this is perfect if you're Utah. If you can keep that pressure up from the first one, you're golden. We'll see what they can do. 4:58 left in the first. Utah win the draw left side. Gunther will get it over to Keller at the right point. Moving up to the slot, he'll push it to Cooley along the left side. Back to Sergachev at the point. He'll hold. He'll get that over to Cooley. Keller deep with it along the right side. Holding. He'll get it to Cooley down at the right side point. He'll move up to the right dot. He'll switch Keller. Back to Sergachev. Over to Keller. Moving up into the slot. Looks for Cooley in front. Tries to get that over to Schmaltz. Not able to find him. His body blocks that in front. Keller keeps that in, though. Montreal racing to dump that out. Cooley will grab it. At least he'll try to, as a hand pass prevents that. Minute 26 left in the Utah power play now. 4:23 left in the first. Utah already in these first 30 seconds here swinging off of this power play opportunity. You can definitely see they were disappointed in how that Toronto game turned out, and they do not want to repeat that tonight. Right side dot outside the Montreal zone. Cooley and Dvorak on the draw. Dvorak will win that back. Montreal able to dump that deep into the Utah zone. Vmelko will hold that behind the Utah net. Sergachev there to pick it up. 1:15 now left in the Utah power play. He'll leave that back for Keller. Keller moving up through neutral ice. He'll pass that over to Schmaltz. Gunther with it now along the right side. He'll slow. Back to Sergachev at the right point. Holding over to Keller. Not able to get the quick pass he wanted there. Back to Sergachev. Over to Gunther. Back to Sergachev. Keller looking for a big shot. Won't take it. Gunther with it in the right corner. He'll move back to the left side. Cooley with it now right side. Over to Gunther. Keller back to Sergachev. Breaks his stick. Not able to get anything there. Cooley circling the right side. He'll get that back to Keller. Looking for Schmaltz in front. Gunther a shot. Hits the body in front. Bounces up into the netting. 35 seconds on the Utah power play now. 3:32 left in the first. Shot still sitting 11-5, so that Montreal penalty kill doing a great job of preventing shots on net. Just getting in all the shooting lanes, doing exactly what they need to. Also catching that lucky break there is Sergachev breaks a stick on that big shot attempt from the point. So just catching all the breaks they need to. Montembeault keep making all the saves he needs to. Left side draw, Utah keep that in. Kessling trying to get a pass in front to Krause. Not able to find it. It'll be pushed into the right corner instead. Armia trying to get that over to Jackeye. Behind the Montreal net now. 20 seconds left in the power play. Jacky will push that over the left corner. Kessering, or left point. Kessering able to get to it first. Montreal dump that all the way back down to the Utah zone, though. 10 seconds left in the Utah power play now. Left for Carcone behind the Utah net. 4 seconds now. Carcone will leave that back to Maselli. Montreal will kill off that power play. Or kill off that penalty. Utah not able to get set up in the Montreal zone as they move up quickly with it. Trying to get in, will bounce right back out of the Utah zone, though. Play blown dead just for an icing, it looks like. 2:48 left in the first now. Still shot sitting 11-5. So though Utah with those good power play attempts there, especially on that second one, or especially on the first one, actually getting those shots on net, that Montreal penalty kill seeming to have figured them out already. Great job killing off that power play. Right side dot outside the Utah zone. Hudson now with it. He'll dump it in left side of the Utah zone. Newcook trying to get to it. Utah will come away with it instead. McBain moving up quickly. Pass over to Stenlund. Right side. Feed cuts out. God damn it. Are you kidding me? Does it work? All right, it works. Well, nothing important happened on that rush. Anyway, allegedly, couldn't see it. All right, so Stenlund will move in right side. He'll get a shot in front. Roy looks to dump that out, and he will take a 2-minute for delay of game. So at least the replay's got my back there. So Utah back up on the power play again. Roy taking a just delay penalty or delay of game penalty there. Costly if you're Montreal. Although they move up quickly with it, looking for a short-handed. It's Armia, right left side of the Utah zone. Forced dump it all the way back down to the Montreal zone. They're still in control of it though. 1:45 left on the Utah power play. 2:10 left in the game, or left in the first. Armia trying to get in front with it. Circling the Utah zone, he'll dump that all the way back down to the Montreal zone, forcing Utah to chase on this power play. Evans pass across. Dumped deep by Montreal. Will kill off 35 seconds of that power play. Keller now back in control with it. Moving up, he'll get that across to Keller right, or back to Gunther right side. He'll ring that all the way around. Utah won't decide to keep it in instead. Moving through neutral ice. Cooley. Finally get that back in the Montreal zone. Force get it over to Gunther at the left side. Pressured though. Back to Sergachev. Keller now with it right side. Big shot from Sergachev. Goes wide in front. Schmaltz back over to Keller. Gets it over to Gunther. Gunther shot. Hits a body in front. Back to Sergachev at the point. 45 seconds left in the power play now. Over to Gunther. Keller shot. Not Gunther. Regardless, shot goes wide. Tied up in the left corner now. Schmaltz trying to get that back to Sergachev. Montreal looking to clear, and they will. All the way back down to the Utah zone. 30 seconds left on the power play now. 54 left in the first. Maselli moving up with speed. Leave it across to the left side. Trying to get it to Bukestad in front. Forced to the right side instead. Carcone. Back to Kessering. Over to Maselli, left side. Looking for Krause in front. Shot saved in front. Montembeault able to get just enough, and Bukestad not able to get the rebound there. Carcone in the right corner. Shot in front by Kessering. That'll go wide. They'll kill off that power play again. Kessering will keep it in. Shot bounces back. Krause looking for something in front. Slides right in front for Montembeault. He will get the save. Both teams getting to know each other after that one. Little exchange in front. 21.2 left in the first. At Montreal, penalty kill on that last rush there. Phenomenal job by him. Especially on the beginning of that power play there. Killing 35 seconds, just circling it around the Utah zone. Phenomenal job by Armia there. The one to really push a lot of that rush. And then Utah almost cashes that rush there as Montembeault, that puck floats right in front of the net there, right through the crease. Not able to catch that rebound. We'll see if anything happens in these last 21 seconds. But so far, great momentum for both teams. Though Utah leads in shots 13-5, I'd say it's been fairly equal so far. Left side draw in the Montreal zone. Suzuki and Kerfoot on the draw. Utah win that back. McBain with it. He'll get that to left point. Quick shot. Hits a body in front. Mata, another quick shot by Utah. Bounces in front. Stenlin looking for a rebound there. Won't find it. Doc tied up in the left corner of the Montreal zone. Looking to just pin that against the wall for 5 seconds. Stenlin will get it back to the left point. Nobody there to pick it up, though. All the way back down to the Utah zone. And that will be the end of the first. Final shots at the end of the first, 13-5 Utah. Utah with 3 power play opportunities there, and really only that first one, I would say, had some good effort and some good opportunities there. Those second 2, mostly all Montreal. Great job by them so far. Regardless of effort or not, we're still scoreless as we end the first. We'll see if either team carries this momentum into the second or if one will really start to take advantage. Listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll see you back in 15. Welcome back. So we're ready to start the second period. Still scoreless between both. Some stats for you before we start the second. Shots adjusted during the intermission there 14-5 in favor of Utah. Utah winning faceoffs 10-6. Utah, though, 0 for 3 on the power play in the first. Montreal only 0 for 1. Hits 12-5 in favor of Montreal. And block shots 10-7 in favor of Montreal. I assume most of those coming on those penalty kills there, which were phenomenal. Montreal, I assume, hoping to stay a little more out of the box moving into the second. However, if they are to, much like Utah, they can rely on that penalty kill to kind of bail them out if need be. So we'll see if that's necessary. Both teams, some great pressure, some great momentum in the first. We'll see how that carries over in the second here. We'll see who gets on the board first. Plenty of chances between both, even though Utah out shooting Montreal a ton. Those 5 shots by Montreal have been good quality shots. And remember, they were a post away from taking the lead early. We'll see what happens in the second. If we cut away from the rafters again, actually drop the puck, that would be preferable, but can't always pick. Here we go. Montreal win the opening draw back in their own zone. Looking to move it up quickly. It'll be dumped into the Utah zone. Vejmelka, he'll hold it behind the Utah net. Quick pass over to the left corner. Utah looking to clear, kept in by Dvorak, though. Bounce in front. Utah able to come away with it. Sergachev, a quick pass over to Mata. He'll get a long pass up. We chipped into the Montreal zone. No offside, or no icing. Guess no offsides as well, but regardless. Montreal back up the other way quickly. Anderson not able to hold that pass. It'll be bounced back behind the Utah net. Mata looking to clear that up. It'll bounce in front off of Montreal skate. Kept in. Dvorak with it now. Left circle. Bounce shot. Goes over the net. Savard trying to push that around. It'll end up along the left side. Back to the left point slowly. Kraus able to intercept it. Just a real slow shot there. He'll dump it softly into the Montreal zone. Will end up behind their own net. Caulfield not quite able to grab it. Will move back into the neutral zone. Keller looking to get that into the Montreal zone. Schmaltz will dump it in instead. Xhekaj able to get to it first. He'll dump it around for for Savard. Montreal moving up with it now. Suzuki trying to get a pass over to Newhook. He'll ring it around. Vejmelka not able to slow that. Caulfield trying to race for it. Trying to race to it first. Not able to. All the way back to the Montreal zone now. Tied up in the left corner. Schmaltz almost able to get that one in front. Not able to hold that puck long enough though. Hudson. Quick pass up out of the Montreal zone. He'll bounce back in. Hudson able to grab it again. 18-18 left in the second now. Montreal trying to get back into the zone. Not quite able to. They'll dump it back in their own zone again. Gooley. Quick pass up to Suzuki. He'll dump it around. Vejmelka able to slow this time. He'll push that left corner. Quick pass up to McBain. Utah moving up quickly now. They'll get in left side. McBain looking for a shot. He'll get it on, but saved by Montembeault. Montreal looking to clear out left side. They will. Mounts all the way back down to the Utah zone. Bortuzzo will get to it first. Quick pass up the right side. Looking to keep that out. Won't be able to. Evans with it now. Down at the right dot. Big shot from the left point. Goes wide. Utah looking to clear that out along the right side of their own zone. McBain will, just for a second though, Montreal looking to dump that right back in. Melka will hold that behind the Utah net. He'll push that right corner. Bortuzzo racing for it first. Barron able to get to it. Pass in front. Montreal looking for a shot. Bounces wide. Held in along the right side board. Utah back up the other way. It's Carcone with speed. He'll beat the 5 defender. He'll beat like 4 defenders there. Looking for the backhand. It'll miss the net entirely though. Tied up and neutralized. It'll bounce back into the Utah zone. There will be a whistle there, I believe, just for an offsides. Looks like it. A little bit of a scramble going over the blue line, so it makes sense there. Utah with some great pressure coming out of this first opening seconds of the second here. Not letting their foot off the gas. Montreal answering back when they have to. Both teams some good shots, been much more of a goaltending matchup so far, at least more in the Montreal end. Vejmelka stopped what he had to, but we'll see what happens as we move on. Armia win the right side dot, draw outside the Utah zone. They'll dump it in left corner. Cole trying to race two at first will be tied up in the left corner. Lamoureux trying to take it away. Doc will come away with it instead. Still tied up in the left corner though. If he tries to move it out, it'll be pushed into the right corner. Kerfoot trying to race to it. Utah looking to clear out right side. Will bounce up over the glass though, out of play. 16:45 now left in the second. You would have to hope if you're Utah here with all this pressure, if you can get that first goal, hopefully building that up and really taking advantage here of that early start, because you have the pressure. It's getting it past Montembeault at this point is your big draw. However, the Montreal defense has been extraordinary so far tonight. So we'll see what happens. Right side draw in the Utah zone. Tied up at the dot. Montreal looking to win it. Caulfield trying to get it in front. Hayton will seal it away instead. Keller tied up as he moves out of the Utah zone. Caulfield with it. He'll get it over to Newhook. Not quite able to hold that pass, though. As he fumbles with it in his own feet, it'll be pushed to the right side. Keller able to grab it. Quick pass over to Hayton. Or quick pass over to Mata. He'll dump it all the way back down. No icing, though. Utah will keep it in the Montreal zone. Keller with it in the left corner. Delayed penalty, though, on Montreal, it looks like. It will be Utah doubling back into their own zone, looking to kill as much time on this delayed penalty as possible. Vejmelka to the bench for Utah. They'll get that extra attacker on during the delayed penalty. Keller back in the Utah zone. 15:50 left in the second now. Maselli moving in. He'll dump that left side. Schmaltz racing for it first. It will be touched by Montreal with 15:42 left in the second. So Utah, their fourth opportunity tonight on the power play. Newhook going to the box 2 minutes for holding against Keller. Likely when he was trying to enter in around that corner, I believe is when they called it. Yeah, tied up in the left corner there. That's just when Newhook gets called for that. The only silver lining for Montreal is you've done extremely well on the penalty kill. It would not surprise me if Montreal ended up getting a shorthanded goal tonight. Both the combination of the extraordinance of that Montreal penalty kill, but also they've been in the box 4 times 25 minutes into this game. So we'll see what happens. Right side draw in the Montreal zone. Bukestad and Dvorak on the draw. Pushed in the right corner. Montreal will win that, looking to clear that all the way around left side, and they will. Will bounce all the way back into the Utah zone. Anderson with some good speed and pressure there, but not able, doesn't really press on the attack there. Maselli trying to cut into the middle. He get to Krause at the left side. Trying to leave that back for Kesslering at the left side point. Not quite able to. Here comes Dvorak. Shot. Bounces off the net. Bounces off the net. Bounces off the post. No goal. Here comes Coney back up the other way. Tries to leave it for Maselli. Not quite able to. It'll be kept into the Montreal zone regardless. Tied up in the left corner. Both poking away at it. It'll end up in the right corner. Dvorak looking to clear that, and he will all the way back down. Vejmelka will hold that behind the Utah net. 1:10 left in the power play now. 14:45 left in the second. So another good rush opportunity taken away by a post. Could have been 2 for Montreal tonight. Keller, he'll leave that back for Schmaltz. 53 seconds left in the power play now. Schmaltz trying to get in, poked away by Armia, trying to push that into the Utah zone. He'll get it. Left side, looking for a pass in front, not able to find him. Vejmelka able to just get enough on it. Cooley trying to move up with speed, tied up along the left side boards in the neutral zone. Sergachev, he'll get a pass over to Keller, tied along the right side boards of the neutral zone now. 30 seconds left in the Utah power play. Cooley moving in left side. Pass over to Gunther. Back to Sergachev at center point. Keller at the right side with it now. Utah circling the zone with it. Cooley over to Sergachev. Keller back to Cooley. Back to Keller at the right side. 7 seconds left in the power play. Sergachev at the left point with it. Moving up, trying to get it in front, looking for a tip in front. Montembeault saves just enough of it. It'll be pushed wide. Montreal will kill off that penalty as well. Gunther with a quick shot, and that one will go in. So just as the power play ends, that puck will end up along the right side of the Montreal zone. Keller able to get that pass across quickly, and Gunther with a quick shot from the left side dot. Puts that one in, looks like top right corner. And Utah finally on the board tonight. Not without a lack of effort, though. Yeah, Keller, he'll get that over to Sergachev at the left side, trying to get it to Gunther in front. Both teams digging away at it. It'll end up in the right corner. Schmaltz will push it to Keller, right across for Gunther, and he'll put that in top right corner. Beautiful goal there for Utah. Finally able to put something in tonight. Draw ends up back in the Montreal zone just for a second. They'll dump it all the way back down to the Utah zone. Lammer will race for it first. No icing. 13:20 left in the second now. Left back for McBain. Here comes Utah back up the other way quickly. It's Stenlin with it. Trying to leave that for McBain in the corner. Not quite able to. Kerfoot looking to push that to the right side. He will. Kept in by Stenlin, looks like. He'll end up in the right corner again as that pass tries to circle around. Kerfoot, he'll leave it back for Stenlin, looking for behind the net for McBain. Tied up in the left corner now. McBain trying to push that to the right corner. Nobody there. Stenlin racing for it, though. Slavkovsky will get to it first. Quick pass up to Gallagher. Gallagher moving in right side. Forced deep. Tied up in the right corner of the Utah zone now. Stenlin back with it. Poked away, though. Montreal behind the Utah net, looking for a quick tip in front. Trying to bounce that up in. Not quite able to. Here comes Sergachev. Sergachev back up the other way. He'll dump that in right side of the Utah zone, looking for a quick change there. Maselli trying to get a pass in front, won't find it. Newhook, quick passes up by Montreal. Getting it over to Struble. Tied up in the right corner, though, of the Utah zone. Poked over to the left side. Back to the left point for Suzuki. Back to Savard. Quick shot by Struble. Saved in front by Vamelka. Utah will clear that out, or tries to. Kept in by Savard. Back over to Struble, moving to the center point. Shot, and that one will go in. So only a few minutes after Utah gets on the board, Montreal finally able to find their footing, and this game tied up again at 1. Now that the app decided to work on my end. First, the Utah goal. Gunther, his 10th of the season. Keller and Schmaltz with the assists, their 14th and 16th respectively. Regarding the Montreal goal that just went in, Struble, his 2nd of the season. Caulfield and Savard with the assists, both their 5th. Just gets that to Struble right in front, and just a beautiful bar down shot. Gets it through the screen, puts it barely over the shoulder of Vamelka there. Just an immaculately placed shot by Montreal. And this game tied up at 1, tied up again. Utah quick to respond, though, looking for a shot in front, saved by Montembeault. 11:41 left in the second now. Shot sitting 17-7 in favor of Utah. Doesn't matter, though. Both able to find the back of the net during this period. See if that momentum continues and who will take the lead again. Listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 11:41 left in the second, tied up at 1. Utah, 6 minutes into the first, puts any goals on the board. The beautiful shot from Gunther from the left dot. Montreal quick to respond though. 2 minutes after, Struble, a beautiful shot right from the slot, puts it barely over the shoulder of Vamelka, and tied up at 1 again. Right side draw in the Montreal zone. Utah win it, looking to move it deep. Mata tied up in the right corner by Caulfield. Moving back into the left corner now. Sergachev trying to dig away at it. Still tied up in that left corner. Both teams digging at it. Gooley trying to come away with it. Instead, Hudson will looking to clear that out. It'll bounce in front. Schmaltz looking for a shot. Not able to find anything in front. Hayton, that little quick attempt in front goes wide. Kept in by Sergachev at the left point. Moving deep now. Keller looking to move that back to the left side. Nobody there to pick it up though. Montreal finally able to clear that out. In neutralized, Montreal looking to move up quickly with it. Newhook doesn't realize he has it. He'll force dump that around. Suzuki looking to get pressure there, not quite able to. Quick pass up by Utah. Trying to get that up to Cooley, not able to really get that. Pressured by Montreal instead. All the way back down to the Utah zone. Vamelko pushed that right side, kept in by Heineman then. Heineman instead. Tied up in the right corner, pushed to the left side. Montreal looking to keep that in. They will. Looking for a tip in front. It'll go wide. 10:25 left in the second. Big shot from Barron at the right point. That'll bounce into the left side. Saved by Vamelka. Good poke check away by Mata. Cooley able to grab just enough of it. McBain looking to clear it. Won't be able to on his first attempt. It'll bounce over to Cooley. Utah finally able to move that out of their zone. Looking for a long pass up to McBain. Won't find it. It'll end up in the right corner of the Montreal zone. Struble able to grab it instead. Forced back in the right corner. But enough passes and Montreal back up out of their own zone. 10 minutes left in the second now. Dumped in by Montreal. Cole able to get to it first. He'll dump it left side. Quick little pass up to Lamoureux. Moving up out of the Utah zone. He'll get it up to Carcone. Carcone trying to get that over to the left side. Not quite able to. Kerfoot racing for it. Forced back to the left point. Be pushed back to the left corner by Lamoureux. Trying to get to Carcone up in the slot. Not quite able to. Long shot bounces up into the air. It'll bounce into the Utah zone. Anderson trying to get a piece of it. Not quite able to. Heineman able to pick that away from Lamoureux. It'll bounce into the right corner of the Utah zone. Trying to get it up to Carcone. Big pass up by Utah. It'll end up back into the Montreal zone. Xhekaj there to grab it instead. Shots sitting 19-7 in favor of Utah, tied at 1. Right corner of the Utah zone, both digging away at it. Montreal able to grab it. Lefkowski trying to move away with it. Schmaltz will pick it away from him instead. Pass up to Keller. Utah moving up over the red line. Pass across to Schmaltz. Pressure along the left side boards though. Keller there trying to pick it away. Cooley trying to get it in front. Kessler will grab it at the left point instead. Schmaltz misses that pass just for a sec. Forced to push it just a little deeper. Tied up in the right corner, or left corner now. Trying to clear it out. Montreal finally will. It'll end up back down to the Utah zone. Kessler will come to it first. No icing. 8:25 left in the second now. Sergachev looking to dump that out left side of the Utah zone. He will. Hayton trying to move in. Tied up against a player though. Utah will pick it right back up and neutral ice. Montreal trying to get back control of it. Gunther will grab it instead. Trying to get anything set up in front, not quite able to. Doc will leave it back in the Montreal zone. So they go for a change. Barron, a quick pass up to Armia. Up to Doc in front, looking for something. Tips wide. Utah looking to clear. Cooley will get that up to McBain. Barron will grab control of it in neutral ice, though. He'll bounce into the Utah zone just for a sec. They'll gain control of it. Looking for a long pass up to McBain. He'll tip the pass in. Won't be able to control it, though. Tied up in the left corner. Cooley looking to dump that right side. Tied up along the right side boards by Kerfoot. Montreal come away with control of it. Struble behind his own net, looking to move out right side. Quick pass up to Newhook. Trying to get it behind the net for Caulfield. Will bounce back to the right corner for Newhook to pick it right back up. Suzuki, pass over to the left side. Looking for something in front, but the net gets knocked off. Pretty much right onto the ice surface flat there. So play blown dead. 7:14 left in the second. Shot setting 19-8 in favor of Utah. Both teams just exchanging rushes here. Some good effort by both. See here on the replay how that net got knocked off. It's just Lamoureux tied up behind the net looking to come around it and just hits the corner and just like a tree in the woods falls flat onto the ice. Utah zone. Left side draw. Stenlin and Newhook on the draw. Stenlin wins that back. Utah looking to move up with it. Trying to get a pass up to Carcone. Won't be able to handle it, though. Montreal quickly back up out of their own zone. Suzuki will dump that in left side of the Utah zone. Cole looking to get to it first. He'll tip it up to Stenlin, looking to clear that out left side. Kept in by Montreal, though. Shot looking for a tip in front. Won't find it. Suzuki looking for one from an angle. Won't find that either. It'll bounce back to the left corner. Caulfield trying to race for it. Lamoureux pressuring, though. Come back to Savard at the right point now. Newhook looking to dump that one around. Won't be able to. Push back to the right corner. Caulfield trying to dig away at it now. Kept in at the right point by Savard. Push to the left corner. Suzuki there to grab it. Trying to get a pass in front to Newhook. Forced to dump that around instead. Savard trying to ring that one back around. Catches some of the boards. Dumped out of the Utah zone. Montreal back in their own zone with it now. Pass up to Jack-Eye. 6:10 left in the second. Jack-Eye pushing that right corner. He'll get it to Evans. Bringing that around to the left side. Trying to get that back to Evans behind the net. Won't quite be able to. Gooley trying to get that to Roy behind the net. He will. Back to the left point now. Looking for a shot. Looks for something in front. Not able to find it. Sergachev will grab it instead. Looking to clear that out left side. Takes a bounce in front. Keller able to poke that one out, though. Up to Kerfoot. He'll tip that into the Montreal zone. On net on Montembeault, but he'll just get a light little pass over. 5:38 now left in the second. Long pass up by Montreal. Just a little too far, though. All the way back down for an icing. 5:34 left in the second now. Shots sitting 20-9 in favor of Utah. This game still tied at 1. Just some great rushes by both teams. Additionally, not many stoppages so far tonight. It's just been one team goes in, the other answers back quickly, rushes both ends. Very exciting hockey so far. Though Utah leads in shot, Montreal, I feel, has some of the more better opportunities. Utah looking for a shot on net. Montreal able to clear that out of their own zone. Back down to the Utah zone just for a second. Bortuzzo was shaken up after that hit. Play blown dead there. Have to see on the replay what happens there. Although I guess we'll figure that out once the advertisers have been paid. 5:23 left in the second. Game tied at 1. You're listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .523 left in the second. Good news was figured out during the commercial for me. Utah going back to the box as Bortuzzo takes a 2-minute for kneeing against Joshua Roy. That will be served by Carconi. So Montreal with their second opportunity on the power play tonight. We'll see if they can get anything done. If their power play is as equal as their penalty kill, a good chance they get something in here, looking to take that 2-1 lead. Put that pressure on Utah. Additionally, this Utah penalty kill been very good over these last few games. We'll see if they can match the Montreal's penalty kill and clear this one off. Right side draw in the Utah zone. Montreal tied up at the dot, but they'll win it back. Dumped in the right corner for Suzuki. Get it around to Caulfield at the left side. Push back to the left point, right back to Crosby. Caulfield. Back behind the net for Suzuki. Or not for Suzuki. Suzuki now having it along the right side boards. Back behind the net for Slavkovsky. Back to Suzuki. Moving around the net left side. Back to Caulfield. We'll get that back to the left point. Over to Doc at the right point. Back to the left point. Back to Doc. Looking for something in front that'll tip wide up into the netting. Hudson, the one back on the left point there. 1:22 left in the Montreal power play. 4:44 left in the second. Bortuzzo actually leaving the game they're showing here after taking that kneeing penalty. So that could be partially why that's served by Carconi. As Bortuzzo a little shaken up after that one. Cooley Suzuki on the draw, right side corner of the Utah zone. They'll win it back to the right corner. Push back to the left side. Caulfield now with it. Looking to move up with it. Minute 11 left. He'll get that back to the left point for Hudson. Back over to Doc, right side. Looking for Suzuki in front, not able to find it. Gunther looking to clear that one out, and he will. It has to be Lamoureux, not Gunther. Regardless, Montreal moving back into the zone. Able to move in right side with ease. Beautiful effort there. Push back to the left side now. Caulfield looking for one. Deflects wide. That'll bounce out of the Utah zone all the way back down to the Montreal end. Doc will be there to grab it. 35 seconds left in the Montreal power play. Still back in their own zone. Here comes Newhook, moving up with speed. He'll enter left side. Leave that back for Slavkovsky, trying to clear that back to the left point, not quite able to. Utah will get to it first. They'll dump it all the way back down. Hudson there to pick it up instead. 12 seconds left on this Montreal power play. Looking to move back in one last time. Gallagher, he'll get in right side. 5 seconds left on the power play now. Cole looking to get to it first. Sergachev will grab it instead, looking to clear that up. Utah will kill that power play or that penalty off. Sten looking for a shot. That hits a body in front. Barely kept in by Kesselring. He'll get that over. Looking for a tip in front. Heineman able to dump that one all the way back down. Melk will just leave that behind the Utah net for Mata. 2:58 left in the second now. Mata able to get that in left side of the Montreal zone. Looking to ring that around to the right corner. Both players just go a little farther there. Montreal able to dump that one back out. Motto able to pick that right back up in the Utah zone, though. Trying to get a pass over to Hayton, not quite able to. Kesselring moving in front with it. Over to Keller at the left side. Pressured, though, not able to get a shot off. Looking for a deflection in front. Montembeau able to stop enough of it. He'll push to the right side. Hayton back over to Lamoureux. Back to Hayton deep in the right corner. Keller trying to get that pass across to him, not quite able to bounce back to the right side. Schmaltz with it. Pressured, though, bouncing in front. Lamoureux looking to keep that in. Schmaltz will grab it to neutral ice instead. Tied up along the left side boards, dumped back in by Montreal. 2:10 left in the second now. Cole hold behind the Utah net as they wait for the change there. Moving up with it now. And for a long pass up, it'll be tipped out of play, it looks like. 1:58 left in the second. Shot sitting 20-8 in favor of Utah. Both with some good opportunities on this last rush. However, Montreal not able to get enough of it done on that power play opportunity. We'll see what happens in the remaining 2 minutes of this period. Listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 1:58 left in the second, tied up at 1. Montreal not able to get not able to take a 2-1 lead off that power play opportunity. But good chances from both teams so far. We'll see what happens in the remaining two. Montreal winning the draw, right side dot outside the Utah zone. They'll dump it in left corner. Outside their own zone, they'll dump it in the Utah zone. Looking for a big shot from the right side. They'll whiff on that shot entirely. Utah back up the other way. Cooley with the right side. Cooley. He'll ring that around to the right corner. Both teams digging away at it. 1:30 now left in the second. Both teams still digging away at it. Dvorak and McBain, the main two, fighting for it. Cooley, Gunther, Hudson, Gallagher, all there fighting for it now. Cooley looking to come away with it. It'll be pushed to the left side boards instead. Gallagher looking to clear it out. Utah trying to keep it in. They will. Gunther in front looking for anything. Tied up on a body. Won't be able to get a shot off there. 1:07 left in the second now. Big pass up by Montreal. Not able to quite control that. Will end up behind the Utah net. Lamoureux with it now. 1 minute left in the second. Quick pass up to McBain. Catches a body. Won't be able to get dumped in. Lamoureux will do it instead. Will be rung around. Montemo looking to slow. Won't quite be able to. Utah barely able to keep that in. Gunther will keep that in at left point. Pass up to Hayton. Montreal able to grab that. Caulfield will dump that right back out. Sergachev will pick that right back up in the Utah zone. Quick pass over to Mata. He'll dump that in right side, looking to ring that around. Hayton racing for it. Savard there fighting for it. Tied up in the left side corner now. 27 seconds left in the second. Still tied up in that left side corner. Both teams still digging away at it. Finally, it comes free. Utah looking to push it right back into that corner. Instead, Savard will get to it first, looking to push that right side. It'll end up to Suzuki behind the Montreal net. 9 seconds left. Suzuki back in his own zone, looking for one big rush. He'll dump that into the Utah zone left corner. It'll end up behind the Utah net. And that will be the end of the second. Final shots at the end of the second, at least for right now. 21-8 in favor of Utah. Great opportunities by both teams, both additionally getting on the scoreboard, neither taking that second goal and taking that lead. See what happens in the third if both can carry that momentum, or if anybody can score on the power play tonight if they get another opportunity. Both teams combined for be 0 for 6 tonight, so we'll see what happens. You're listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll see you back in 15. Welcome back as we get ready to start the third, tied at 1. We'll see what happens. Looking at stats before we get into the period. Shots currently sitting 22-8 in favor of Utah. Looking at the second, specifically 8-3 in favor of Utah. Looking at face-offs, 15-13 in favor of Utah as well. Utah 0 for 4 on the power play tonight. Montreal 0 for 2. Hits sitting 29-12 in favor of Montreal. And block shots 12-11 in favor of Montreal. A very tight game that at times hasn't, if you're just looking at the shots, it does not seem like it's been a tight game. But Montreal, I'd say, has been playing equal offense to Utah, just not been able to get the shots on net for that they really want there. But the stats wouldn't prove. This has been a very exciting game between both teams. Great effort from both. Just it's been fun. It's a good game tonight. It's really going to come down to which team I would say kind of comes out of this period swinging. Because if you can take the early lead in this period and put that pressure on early, you don't have to stop playing offense necessarily, but you can be a little lighter and focus a little more on defense. Whereas we're tied currently, it's more, I'd say, an equal battle between both. But we'll see what happens here. 20 minutes to play, still plenty of time for anything to happen. Once we cut away from the benches, we will get this period started. Whenever we want to do that. Eventually. Sometime today. Refs are talking to Savard over by the penalty box. We'll see what that ends up being, if anything. Oh, we'll talk about that at the next whistle. Utah win that opening faceoff. They'll dump that around, trying to get it into the Montreal zone. They'll get it in just for a second. It'll bounce right back out. Carconi looking for a quick pass up. Bounce all the way back down to the Montreal zone. Montembeau able to push that to the right corner. Kept in by Utah. Tied up in the right corner. Big hit. Xhekaj will come away with it instead. Looking for a long pass up. Vejmelka will get to it first. Not able to slow that, but gets in the way of Anderson. So ends up working out for Vejmelka there. Stenlund, he'll try and dump that in further. They'll end up in the left corner, which will bounce behind the net for Montreal. 9:20 left in the third now. Quick pass up to Newhook, trying to get that up to Dvorak. Pass in front, and Montreal puts that one in front close. Newhook looked to be the one to get that one in. Just from behind the net, they'll just kind of bounce it in front, keep digging away at it, and it'll bounce up and over the pad of Vejmelka. Montreal takes that early lead I was talking about. They'll get it in the zone. Yeah, let's see here. They'll get it in the zone. They'll bounce it in left corner. They'll bounce in front off Cole, and Newhook just in the right spot at the right time. Dvorak throws it to the front, just bounces up and in. Regarding the Savard going to the box from the beginning, Savard apparently got a 10-minute misconduct at the end of the second. So he'll be in the box for the half of the rest of this game. I don't think Montreal's complaining too much, though, as they now take a 2-1 lead early in the second, putting that pressure on Utah. Dumped in front, ends up right in the crease for Montembeau, looking to clear that out. Montreal trying to extend that lead further. Schmaltz to pick it back up in the Utah zone. He'll slow behind his own net and wait for a change. 18:50 left in the second half. Leave that back for Sergachev behind the Utah net. Finally moving up with it. Little pass up to Keller. Keller moving in left side. Pressured. Forced to ring that around. Montreal will intercept. Hudson with it. Quick pass up to Newhook. Kept in by Mata, though. Keller with it, looking for a shot that'll deflect wide. Schmaltz and Cooley there race for it. It'll end up behind the Montreal net. Quick passes up by Montreal. Newhook up the other way. He'll dump that right corner as he goes for a change. Sergachev will get to it first. Pass up to Gunther. McBain not quite able to hold it, but able to get right back to him regardless. Powering through the three Montreal, looking for a shot from an angle that'll hit a body in front. It'll bounce right back to him in the right corner, though. Pushing left behind the net. Tripped up by another player there. Looks like no call on that. It'll dump all the way back down. Utah will pick that back up in their own zone. 17:50. Bad pass in front. Saved by Vejmelka. Montreal, as Heineman looks to get one there. Evans with another shot that'll deflect just wide, though. Gunther now with it. Looking for a pass up to Cooley. He'll find him, but not able to hold that pass, though. Montreal back in their own zone. A little miscommunication. They'll force dump that in the left corner. Heineman back in the right corner, looking to push that all the way out. Utah fighting to keep that in, and looks like they will on the right side. Bukestad looking for a shot from the point. That will go wide. Kept in the left side, looking to ring that around into the right corner. Bukestad fighting for it. Will end up in the left corner. Mata now with it. He'll get that to Maselli behind in the left corner. Both teams digging away at it. 17 minutes left in the third now. Tied up, it'll be pushed to the right corner finally. Heineman still fighting for it. Him and Bukestad. Montreal finally able to clear that one out. It'll end up back down in the Utah zone. All the way back down. Sergachev will pick it up behind the Utah net. Moving up with it. Long pass up to Stenlin. He'll dump that in left side. Doc will get to it first. Doesn't matter, though. It'll be an offsides. 16:35 left in the third. Finally, looking at that second Montreal goal. Newhook, his fifth of the season. Dvorak and Jackeye with the assists. Their sixth and second, respectively. So Montreal, a few minutes ago at this point, putting that pressure on early for Utah. We'll see if they can answer back. The way this game's been going for Montreal, maybe take a penalty. Utah has not been able to score on the power play at this point. Center ice draw. Hayden Dock. 16:35. Montreal will win that back in their own zone. Looking for a quick pass up, he tipped into the Utah zone. Mata looking to push that right side all the way out. Montreal will keep it in, though, just barely. Or at least they'll try to. It'll bounce all the way back down. Looked like they did for a second there. All the way back down for an icing, though. So back down to the Utah zone. Or back down to the other zone we will go. Current shots in 22-10 in favor of Utah. Doesn't matter, though, as Montreal the one with the lead. 16-19. Right side draw in the Utah zone. Hayden Dock on the draw. Dock kicked out of the circle. Or nope, just skating back. Hayden Dock for real this time. Will finally be able to get that. Tied up at the dot, but bounce back to the right point. Utah looking to clear that out. They will. Quick pass up to Hudson. Will get a quick pass up to Dock. Tied up in the left corner. Once again, both teams digging at it in a corner. Montreal able to ring that around to the right side. Nobody there to pick that up. Montreal pick that right back up in their own zone. Dock again with it. Pass from Hudson. Takes a shot. That'll bounce wide. Looking to be kept in. Won't be able to. Utah up quickly. It's Cooley up the left side. He's got McBain with him. Over to McBain. Shot. And that's in. Beautiful pass from Cooley and McBain as he catches up to him on the rush. And this game is tied again. McBain on fire over these last few games. I believe that's his third goal over the last 3 games now. So Gunther able to just get a little tip up to Cooley, sees McBain with him, able to cut that across to him just in time, blast that from the right side. Montembeault not able to get across in time. McBain, his 8th of the season. Cooley and Gunther with the assists, their 13th and 10th respectively. And once again, game tied. 15-38 now in the third. Montreal back in their own zone, circling their own net. Trying to clear it out right side. Kessler not able to keep that in. It'll bounce all the way back down to the Utah zone for an icing. 15.5 left in the third. Shot sitting 23-10. Tied at 2. Just absolute, very nice speed there from not only Cooley, but McBain to catch up to Cooley on the rush there to make sure he has that guy to pass to across, to not let Montembeault get comfortable on that left side, to have that opportunity to give Montembeault that decision of will he pass, will he not? He ends up passing. Beautiful shot from McBain there. Left side draw in the Montreal zone. Stenlin, or Kerfoot and Dvorak now on the draw. So everybody switches places around the dot. We'll see if we can finally get this puck drop. We will. Utah will push that into the left corner. It'll be one back to the left point instead. Push the right side now. Kerfoot trying to get it in front. Kesselring a shot. Bounces up. Not into the netting, though. In the left corner. Kerfoot trying to dig away at it. Both teams there. Stenlin trying to poke it into that right side. Finally, Will Kerfoot there to grab. Trying to double back. Tied up in the right corner. Pushing around the net. Now at the left dot. Back to Cole. Big shot. Misses the net entirely. Carcone circling that left corner. Leave it for Kerfoot, or at least he looks like he does. Ends up in the right corner instead. Poke back to the right corner. Carcone with it. 14:45 left in third. Passing front for Cole. Looks for a shot. Misses the net again. Anderson with it now. Moving back up the other way. He's got Gallagher up with him. He'll push it deep in the right corner. Gallagher able to get to it first. Now in the left corner. Utah able to come away with it. Kesselring. Long pass up. Tries to get it up to Gunther. Not able to hold that pass though. Montreal back in their own zone. Struble pass up over to Hudson. Looking for long passes up. Here comes Suzuki. Cutting through the middle. Pass over to Newhook at the right side. He'll leave it for Suzuki at the left side. Hudson fighting for it to keep it in along the left side boards. Not able to. Utah looking for a pass up. Nobody there to grab it, but it will be on net. No icing. Montembeault will push that to the right side. 14 minutes now. Montreal not able to hold that pass. It'll bounce back to the blue line. Utah will keep it in. Cooley fighting for it on the left side. He'll get it to Schmaltz. Schmaltz behind the net. Back to Lamoureux at the right side point. Soft little shot in front. Montembeault will hold. 13:44 left in the second. Montreal takes the early lead, but Utah ties it up. Both teams, great opportunities. We'll see if this needs extra time or not, but still plenty of time in the period to play. Listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. $13:44 left in the third, game tied at 2. Current shots sitting 25-10 in favor of Utah. Both having great opportunities on these last few rushes. I mean, all game it's been great rushes between both. Now that I say something, this last 13 minutes will take forever. But this game, very quick, not many stoppages. It's been dump it to the one end, get an opportunity, then the other team answers back. We'll see if that continues. Right side draw in the Montreal zone, looking to clear it out. They will. Trying to get it in right side. Suzuki, he'll poke it up to Newhook. Newhook battling for it in the left corner, trying to get it to the right side for Caulfield. Hayton there with pressure, though. Bounce in front. Schmaltz looking to clear it out instead. He will. He's got Keller with him. Keller now with it along the left side. Not able to get that away, though. Hudson Fighting for it in the left corner, trying to clear that out. Utah looking to get that in front. Schmaltz whiffs on the shot entirely. Caulfield now with it. 13:08 left. Moving to the left side. Holding, shot, will deflect, saved by Vejmelka. Utah back up the other way now. It's Maselli. Trying to chip it in left side. Can't beat around Evans in time. Tied up in the left corner. Montreal able to clear that out back into neutral ice. Lamoureux barely able to grab that, pressured instead. Trying to get it to Krause in the right side of the Montreal zone. Not quite able to. It'll bounce back to the neutral zone instead. Utah trying to get some passes up to get anything set up in the Montreal zone. Not quite able to. Montreal now back with it. Looking for a long pass up. Nobody there to grab it. Lamoureux will instead. He'll dump it right corner of the Utah zone. Heineman will be there to grab it instead. Kept in at the right point. Looking for a bounce in front. Cleared all the way back and out. Would have been icing, but Cooley beats him back there. Jackeye now with it. He'll hold behind the Montreal net. Pressure, though. He'll get a quick pass up. 12:08 now left. Montreal, quick pass up. Tip for no icing. Not Montembeau. Vejmelka will push that left side. Bounce in front. McBain moving up with speed. He'll leave it at the left side. Looking for a deflection in front. It will go wide instead. Cooley at the right side. He'll get across to Gunther now at the left side. Looking for a tip in front. Nothing there. McBain looking for a shot. Deflects off a body. Kept in, though. Montreal looking to clear that out. Tied up along the left side boards. Gooley looking to clear it. Was not quite able to on that last rush. Armia circling back the zone. He'll leave that over for Struble. As Montreal goes for the clear. 11:25 left in the third now. Slavkovsky looking to push that up. Pressured by Stenlin instead. They pushed over the dock along the left side. Kerfoot and Slavkovsky battling for it. It'll bounce off a skate in front, though. Utah able to come away with it. Carcone moving up with speed. He's got Cole with him, looking for a shot. It'll deflect off a body. Montembeau looking to push that to the left side, not quite able to. Hudson able to get that away from Stenlow in time as he's looking for something in front. Tied up in the left corner. Doc with it, looking to push that looking to push that left side. Utah fighting to keep that in. Armia back with it. Back up to Doc, moving up left side with speed. Trying to break in front, poke checked away, and there will be a delayed penalty there. A holding call. Utah back to the box. Who else but Lamoureux in Montreal tonight? Taking a 2-minute holding against Doc. So Montreal back on the power play. We'll see if any team can score on the power play tonight. Combined 0 for 6. See if they can make that 0 for 7 or if Montreal powers through and takes the lead. Yeah, Lamoureux just grabs him with his whole hand as Doc's trying to cut in front for that goal there. Very clear holding call there. 10:42 left in the third. Montreal on the 2-minute power play. Shots sitting 25-11 in favor of Utah. If we cut away from, there we go. Left side draw in the Utah zone, tied up with the dot. Utah able to clear that all the way back down to the Montreal zone. Montembeau will leave that for Hudson behind the net. Hudson picking it up. He'll leave that back in the Montreal zone for Newhook. Moving up with speed. Entering in the left side, he'll leave it for Armia. He'll take a bounce in front. Utah diving to get that out, and they will. Hudson will pick it up and neutral ice instead. Doubling back into his own zone. Minute and a half in the power play now. Left back for Newhook again. Cutting in left side, Armia. Getting it back up to Newhook. Tied up along the left side boards. Heineman. He'll push that along the right side. Back to Hudson. Over to the right side now. Back to Hudson at the point. Trying to get that back to the right side. Not quite able to. It'll bounce off a body and out. 1:03 left in the power play. 9:40 left in the third. Hudson. He'll leave that back for Doc. Suzuki there with him. Kerfoot with pressure. Trying to take that away from Suzuki. Poked in by Hayton. Or poked in by Krause will be an offsides, though. So for Utah, not a bad turn of events there. You get that offsides call. 49 seconds left in the Montreal power play. 9.5 left in the third. Montreal with some good chances to get in. Hudson looking for a shot there, looking for passes. Just that Utah penalty kill, able to get in front of everything, not letting Montreal get really set up. Left side draw in the Montreal zone now. Kerfoot and Suzuki on the draw. Suzuki wins that back cleanly. Hudson behind the Montreal net with it. Moving up out of the zone, he'll leave that back in the zone instead for Suzuki. Suzuki cutting in, he'll get that to the right side for Doc. Doc doubling back at the right side, back to Hudson at the point. Over to the right side now for Suzuki. Dancing the right side, 20 seconds left in that power play. Back to Doc at the left side, Hudson with it. Forced into the right corner, or back to the right point. Suzuki, that bounce pass takes a weird bounce, not quite able to hold anything there. It'll bounce all the way back down to the Montreal zone. Utah should be able to clear this power play off just fine. 8:40 left in the period, and they will kill that power play off. Montreal trying to get something in front. Pass goes wide though. Kept in by Gooley at the left point. Evans trying to get something. He'll put that to the right corner. Kept in at the right point. Back to Gooley, looking for a shot that goes wide. Anderson back to Evans, behind the net. Gooley back over to the right point, looking for a shot in front that'll deflect up into the netting instead. 8:12 left in the third. As Montreal not able to capitalize on that power play opportunity. Game still tied at 2. You're listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. $8:12 left to play in the third, tied at 2. Shots currently sitting 25-11 in favor of Utah. Looking at the third specifically, tied at 3. Montreal with that power play opportunity is just not able to get anything set up. Utah keeping them to the outside, not letting any shots get through. Very nicely done by that Utah penalty kill. I mean, both penalty kills have been good tonight, so, not a shock specifically. But if you're Montreal, that was a big chance you needed to capitalize there. Right side draw in the Utah zone, they'll win it back, looking to clear it out, and they will. Will bounce in, Keller will push that into the left corner. 8 minutes left now. Montreal looking to clear that out. They will, but only at Utah's hand. They'll dump it right back in. Instead, though, Montembeault able to slow that behind his own net. He'll dump that left corner. Tied up along the boards. Really push the right side now. Utah keeping that in. Mata pushing that to the right corner. Schmaltz fighting for it. He's got Hayden with it. It'll end up in the left side now. Sergachev racing up to grab it. Keller will dump it around for Schmaltz. It'll bounce up into the netting instead, though. Play blown dead. 7:29 left in the third. Game tied at 2. It's been a very exciting game between both teams so far. There's a lot of action. Very quick game, all things considered. 7 minutes left. Will be about 5 minutes before we usually end, so that just goes to show how quickly both teams have been rushing. Not much stoppages. Left side draw in the Montreal zone. Utah will win it, but will be pushed to the left corner instead. Will bounce out. Montreal up on the rush now. It's Heineman up on the left side looking for a shot. Vamelka with the save. It'll bounce up into the netting instead. No, looked like it doesn't. Must just barely hit the top of the glass. It'll end up behind the Utah net instead. Utah looking to clear that out. They will. Struble will grab it. Back to Hudson. Looking for a quick pass up. Montreal dumped that right back into the Utah zone. Cole grabbed it left side. Pass from Vamelka there. Here comes Cooley up the left side into the Montreal zone. Not able to hold that pass, though. Montreal able to clear that right back out. Mata with it. They'll dump it into the Utah zone. Or dump it into the Montreal zone. Montreal breaking out of their own zone. Quick passes up. Anderson tied up along the right side boards. They'll end up behind the Utah net. Utah able to come away with it, though. Looking for a long pass up, won't find it. Montembeau behind his own net with it, looking to push, trying to decide which side to push it to. He'll push it right side instead. Now Gallagher with it. Quick passes up. Anderson trying to get a pass in front of Dvorak, won't find him. Utah back up the other way. Sergachev looking for a shot in front, deflects wide. Montembeau not sure where that ends up. Gets just enough of it, though. Both teams now going at it behind the Montreal net. Sergachev and Gallagher really exchanging words there. Anderson getting in on that too. Ref trying to break it up, not to his best effort there. And there we go. Both teams really going at it now. All pretty much everybody out there having a bit of fun. Kathleen Savard, one of the two going at it. Dvorak, or Xhekaj and Kraus, another one. Savard and someone from Utah, wasn't sure who, but regardless, everybody getting to know each other after that one. Looks like Utah is going to come away with that with a power play. Savard looks to be going, oh no, should equal out. It'll be a 4-on-4 instead. Sergachev and Savard both going to the box, likely both getting roughing, if I had to guess. Although we'll see once the app kind of decides to kind of update itself after they've figured out what's going on. Regardless of what it ends up being, it will be a 4-on-4, 6:07 left in the second. Both teams not doing great with 5-on-4. We'll see how both fare with a 4-on-4 opportunity. Yeah, both just all that fighting there and only 2 penalties coming out of that. Still watching the replay of that as we decide we'd rather watch that instead of continuing the game. Finally, we'll cut away to the box instead. We're getting closer. All right, updates from the app. Savard taking a 2-minute for elbowing against Maselli. And Sergachev to the box against Gallagher, so that is likely the roughing call. Although still not updating. We'll see what happens. Regardless, 4-on-4, both captains talking with the refs. Just had to say something about this game going by quick, and then comes to a standstill now. Yes, Sergachev will be having a 2-minute minor against Gallagher for roughing. Savard with a 2-minute minor for elbowing against Maselli, 4-on-4. Glad that finally got figured out. 6:07 left in the third. Shots sitting 25-12 in favor of Utah, tied at 2. See if any team can get something going on this 4-on-4 opportunity. Neither could do much 5-on-4, so see if one less player somehow leads to something else happening. Be a left side draw, or be left dot outside of the Montreal zone. They'll win it back. Hudson with it. He'll pass it across in his own zone. It's Gooley with it. Pass over to Caulfield. Caulfield doubling back into his own zone, pressured by Keller, forced to pass up. Montreal passing back into their own zone. Suzuki with it. Moving up into the Utah zone. He'll slow at the right point, walking the line over to Hudson. Back to Caulfield deep. Hudson, he'll get that across to the left or to the right side. Caulfield back with it now, trying to cut in front for something. He'll be poked out by Utah. Kerfoot trying to get something there. Suzuki back up the other way quickly, looking for a shot. It'll deflect off a body. Caulfield not able to grab anything off that one. 1:15 left in the 4-on-4 now. 5:15 left in the period. Utah holding behind their own net. Cole. Pass over to Lamoureux. Back to Cole as they just kind of pass that back between themselves, killing time off this power play, or off this 4-on-4 opportunity here. Finally passing that up. Utah up the other way. It's Hayton. Hayton slowing at the right side. He'll pass it across to the left side to Schmaltz. Schmaltz looking for that. He'll bounce up over the net. He'll try and pick up the rebound. Poked away by Montreal instead. Struble the one to poke that away. Doesn't matter as Schmaltz will pick it right back up in the left corner. Kept in. Lamoureux at the right side. Forced to move deep. Shot. It'll flick up into the netting for real this time. Play blown dead. 31 seconds left in the 4-on-4 opportunity. 4:37 left in the game. Still tied at 2. Still plenty of time for each team to score if they really wanted to. We'll see what happens. Listening to Utah Montreal on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 4:37 left in the third, about 30 seconds left on the 4-on-4 opportunity. Montreal with the majority of the chances on this 4-on-4 opportunity, but not much. Utah with only a few rushes here, but still tied at 2. We'll see if this game needs extra time, but still plenty of time to play in this period. So we'll see what happens. Right side draw in the Montreal zone, tied up at the dot. Be poked back to the center slot there. Utah will keep it in. Bounce back behind the net. Cole trying to dig away at it. Or McBain trying to dig away at it. 19 seconds left in the 4-on-4 opportunity now. Tied up in the left corner. McBain, he'll poke that over to Kesselring. Down at the left point, moving up to the slot. Trying to get a shot off. He will. Be saved by Montembeault. Montreal will poke that over into the left corner of their own zone, and that 4-on-4 will be cleared, or will be killed off for both teams. Not much opportunity there. 4 minutes left in the game. Cooley circling his own net. Moving up over his own blue line, through the red line now. Trying to get that into the Utah zone, and it looks like Montreal, no, looks like that'll just be an offsides. Almost looked like Cooley had drawn, hooking on himself. Not able to there. Will just be an offsides call. Kesselring with a good chance there, not able to get much off that shot. 3:50 left in the third. Shot sitting 26-12, favor of Utah. Left side draw outside the Montreal zone. Cole with it now. He'll dump it in right side of the Montreal zone. Trying to clear right side. Kept in by Keller, though. Over to Sergachev at the left point. Over to the right side, nobody there to pick it up. Cole dump it around instead. Trying to get it to Schmaltz in the right corner. Trying to dump it again. Montreal back up the other way quickly. Roy trying to get a shot out, or trying to get a pass in front, not quite able to. Cole in the left corner. Trying to get it up to Schmaltz. Utah clear it up. Just over to Struble, though. He'll double back into his own zone with 3:10 left in the third now. Pass over to the right side. Quick pass up by Montreal, tied up in the neutral ice, though. Utah moving up quickly, trying to get a pass in front. Backhand by Carcone in front, saved by Montembeault. They'll get that back to the left point for Kesselring, looking for another chance. That'll deflect wide instead. Gallagher looking for a long pass up. It'll end up in the neutral zone. Utah looking to pick it up. Anderson will keep it in the Utah zone instead. He'll dump it around. Vejmelka will push it right corner. 2:40 left in the third now. He'll dump left side. Carcone there to pick it up. Long pass up by Utah. Tipped up for no icing. Jack-Eye Kerfoot racing to it. Kerfoot able to get to it first. Stenlund tied up in the left corner now. Back to Cole at the right point. Sergachev with it. Center slot. Back over the left side for Stenlund. Saved in front by Montembeault. Will not hold, though. He'll poke it away. Stenlund will get it back. Misses on the shot, or misses on the pass, though. Carcone now with it. Trying to get that Kerfoot in front. Not able to hold the pass. Cole trying to push it around. Not able to. Montreal trying to come back up the other way. Out of their own zone. Gallagher tied away. Has the puck stolen away from him instead. Kerfoot trying to get that over to Cooley. He'll dump that into the Montreal zone. He'll end up trying to get that to McBain left side. Montreal with it instead. Hudson. Quick pass up. 1:45 left in the third. Utah trying to clear it up. Clear it out. They will. Cooley up the right side with speed. Force deep. He'll double back. Big shot from Kesselring. It'll end up wide. Gunther. He'll push that to McBain. Can't find anybody in front. Hudson will try and push it out instead. Kesselring not able to get that out. Or not able to get that back in. Suzuki pushing that in the left side of the Utah zone. Utah able to steal it away, though. Cooley trying to push that left side. McBain will steal it. Force a double back. Trying to clear that all the way out. Montreal back with control. 1:10 left in the third now. Hudson. Back in his own zone with quick passes up. Utah grabbing neutral ice. They'll dump it right corner. Schmaltz trying to race to it first as Montreal trying to clear right side. Finally, the move up with it. Armia getting into the Utah zone. Evans trying to get a pass across to Struble. He'll pick it up. Looking for tip in front. Vejmelka, big save in front. 45.3 left in the third. Montreal with a big opportunity there to put this game away. Vejmelka just catches enough of it. He'll bounce out to the side nobody's at. He'll dive for the save. Shots currently sitting 28-12 in favor of Utah. Just an action-packed game so far tonight as both, really Utah in these last few rushes here, trying anything to not let this game go to overtime, trying to kill it as early as they can. Montreal, though, now in the Utah zone, they have the chance, if they can win this face-off and get some good shots on net, this might not need an overtime. We'll see what happens. 45.3, left side draw in the Utah zone. Heineman will pass that across the right point. Push behind the net. Evans trying to dig away at it. Sergachev will grab it instead. Moving up quickly. He'll poke it up to Keller. Keller, pass across to Kerfoot. Tied up along the right side boards. 30 seconds now. He'll end up in the right corner. Struble. He'll push it left side instead. Heineman looking to clear that out left side. He'll pass it up. Utah fighting to keep it in. It'll barely bounce outside the zone. 17 seconds now. Struble back in the Montreal zone. Quick passes up to Evan. He'll dump it left corner of the Utah zone. Kesselring will get to it first. 6 seconds left. Utah looking to move it up quickly, trying to get one final shot on net, and they won't. So, for the first time in what feels like a minute, we're going to need overtime to decide the winner of this one. Final shots at the end of the third, 28-12 in favor of Utah. Looking at the third specifically, 6-4 in favor of Utah. Don't go anywhere. We will be back for overtime in about 5 minutes. We'll see who plays hero tonight. Welcome back as we get ready to start overtime. Both teams tied at 2. Great effort from both teams tonight. We're going to need 5 extra minutes and maybe more. We'll see what happens. It's been a great game between both teams. Tons of offensive opportunities. Montreal able to pick up more as the game goes on after that dominant first by Utah. Doesn't matter now. Center ice draw, one back by Montreal. Hudson racing to grab it. He'll dump it back in the right corner of his own zone as he kind of trips and falls over his own feet. Back to Hudson in the left corner now. Utah, Gunther will steal that away. Back to Sergachev, he'll double back out of his own zone. Back to Gunther, back in the Utah zone. Caulfield there with pressure. He'll get it over to Keller. Back up to Gunther. Moving in quickly, up the right side. He's got Keller. Keller in front, not able to get a shot off, though. Can't quite grab that pass. Sergachev racing up for it. He'll grab it. Caulfield with pressure, though. 4:25 left in the overtime. Quick pass up to Gunther. Moving in through center ice. Over to Cooley at the left side. Doubling back to the slot. And moving left side. Shot bounces up into the netting. Play blown dead. 4:12 left in overtime now. Utah taking that early aggression to see if they can end this early and not let Montreal even get set up. Hudson tripping over his own feet, kind of that pass or that puck rolls back in the Montreal zone, and Utah not stepping back, pushing forward into the zone, seeing if they can strip that away. Successfully, they do. Left side draw in the Montreal zone. Hayton Evans on the draw. 4:12 left in overtime. Both jumping early. We'll see what we can do. Eventually, we'll get this puck dropped. Both just a little too eager. Finally, we'll get this puck drop tied up at the dot. Montreal will bounce back to Gooley. Gooley trying to get a pass up. It'll bounce all the way back down to the Utah end. Evans with speed. Back to Gooley. He'll double back out of his own zone. We'll give it over to Doc. Doc doubling back into his own zone. 3:52 left. Doc moving up through center ice. Cutting to the right side. He'll double back at the blue line. Keeping it in just barely at the right point. Back to Gooley. Gooley getting it in front for Doc. Leave it for Gooley again. Shot saved by Vamelka. Trying to keep it in. They'll double it back to neutral ice. Doc back to Newhook. Newhook moving up quickly as he catches Utah on a change. Moving in 2-on-1 though. Tied up along the right side boards. Utah looking to clear. Trying to get it in front for Hudson. Won't be able to. Newhook. Left side boards. 3:08 left in overtime now. Hudson circling. Not Hudson circling. Montreal circling. Now Hudson with it down at the point. Moving right side. Moving to the slot. Over to Newhook. Back to Hudson. Left spot there. Newhook with it. He'll leave it back. Looking for a pass in front. Won't find anybody. Cooley not able to hold that pass. Will grab it on the second attempt. Heineman, the third Montreal out there, who was trying to get that shot off. Mata able to kind of break his ankles there on that one as he double backs away from him from the corner. Keller moving in quickly, trying to get it over to Gunther at the left dot. Back to Sergachev at the point. He'll move into the slot. He'll leave it for Keller. Poked away though. Gooley trying to steal that one away. Won't quite be able to. 2:10 left in overtime now. Here's Caulfield. Moving up the right side. Cutting to the middle. Over to Gooley. Shot saved by Vamelka. That'll bounce to the left side now. Bounce out. Montreal moved out of the Utah zone on their own accord there. Back in their own zone with it, 1:50. Up to Suzuki. He'll get it over to Doc. Doc looking for a shot. Catches a body in front. He'll bounce right back to him, though. Gunther trying to move it up out of the Utah zone. He'll clear it. Or at least he'll get it out of the zone. He'll double back before entering the Montreal zone, waiting for the change there. He'll leave it for Kesselring. Quick pass up to McBain. McBain moving in left side with speed. Doubling back towards the blue line. He'll get it to the slot for Kerfoot. Kerfoot moving in, looking for a shot. It'll bounce wide instead. 1:14 left. Tied up along the left side boards, both digging at it. Kerfoot trying to get that in front to Kesselring. Not quite able to settle down that pass fast enough. Back to him, though, at the left side. Looking for a shot, won't find it. Doubling back to the blue line. To the right side, looking for a shot now. Little deflect in front. Both teams searching for it. Newhook will come away with it first. 50 seconds left in the overtime. Kerfoot trying to strip that one away. It'll end up in front to Doc, able to clear that one down and out. Utah trying to act quickly. Sergachev back in his own zone. 35 seconds left in overtime. Pass up to Hayton. Hayton at the left side. Getting it to Schmaltz. Schmaltz trying to move in, looking for a tip in front. Sergachev finds the pass in front, and Utah luckily taking this one 3-2. Took a minute, but what a game. Schmaltz just pushes up from the right side, pretty much puts that right in front of Montembeault. And that will be the game. Wow, let's see here on the replay how exactly that went down. Final shot sitting 29-13 in favor of Utah. Those 13 shots for Montreal tell two very different stories there. They played great offensively, just that Utah defense tonight. Hayton at the left side of the zone. He'll get it back to Schmaltz at the right side. Pushing up to the dot, just taps it right in front of Montembeault to Sergachev for a quick little tap in. Evans not quite able to get his stick there in time. Wow, what a game. Utah will be taking this 3-2 over Montreal. Next game for Utah will be Friday, November 29th against the Edmonton Oilers. There will not be a broadcast for that game as I have tickets. So catch me back here Saturday, the 30th, for the final game against the Knights this season. Additionally, Friday's game against Edmonton is the Hockey Fights Cancer Night officially for Utah, so that should be fun. I have been Taryn Holmes. This has been Utah 801, Utah Hockey Radio. Have yourself a good rest of the night.